Today, when you have a team performance that wasn't what we all wanted, and he had an individual performance that wasn't what I know he would have wanted, and I think for him to respond to that the way that he did, he was extremely aggressive. I thought that the way he defended D'Angelo in the third period, especially, D'Angelo had no points. They had no threes, in that period. And so much of their firepower is a three-point shot. But going back to Ben, he was our bell ringer tonight. And the fact that he had 10 rebounds, 12 assists, 23 points was fantastic. But I thought his defensive effort on D'Angelo was spectacular. His aggression, especially.
Coach, right in front of you, Kai Carlin, Sixers Wire. Tonight, Tobias was able to get a couple of shots going. How important is his offense for this team moving forward?
I mean, I know it is, and I thought that he played really good defense also in the third period, but that third period, which is the breakaway period, the separation period. Tobias's offense, I think he had 12 points in that third period. We needed all of that. And you start combining that defensive energy on one end and then the firepower offensively at the other end. And it produced tonight, I guess, the third most points in a period in the history of the NBA, which is a long time. And he was significant, I thought, especially offensively in the third period.
Brett, I'm down here to the left. Kevin from Crossing Broad.
Yep.
Can you talk about the adjustment to leave TJ out of the rotation and Jonathan and go with bring James in and play Jimmy as the point guard or point guard by committee there?
Yeah. I mean, it's a difficult decision because TJ has been a part of sort of our bloodline for a while, and the energy that he injects is contagious, and we all get. And even if you study the stat line from the game that we lost, I think he was a plus 12, which is pretty good. And so you started looking at maybe the ripple effects of what can others do from a spatial standpoint. James's ability to stretch the court a little bit more, try to give Jimmy the ball as a legitimate backup point guard, a point guard when Ben wasn't on the court, influenced that decision. I thought TJ handled it as we all guessed he would. He's a wonderful teammate, but it was driven for those reasons that I just said to make that decision to take TJ out of the rotation.
Coach, Jason Blevins, Philly front office. Was your sense that you guys were really putting a lot of pressure on Brooklyn through that first half, but they were able to hang in, make some shots, continue to score, but did the dam break in the third quarter, or did you make a change that just sort of hit them a second time?
I think we did what we tried to do in the first half, just kind of harder, better, longer type stuff. We didn't really change stuff schematically. We just did what we wanted to do better. And the margin for error when you're playing against D'Angelo and Dinwiddie as an example, where they can create separation and find enough daylight to get a shot off, is marginal. But that fragility, that little tiny half a second you coulda, shoulda, didn't environment is punishing. And I thought that in the third period we did a better job of taking away some space, getting to their feet, being 6'10", 6'9", whatever, showing our length. And I thought everything that we're talking about now was successfully, as far as the win goes, to me, was driven through our defense in the second half.
Brett, to your left, Dave Murphy with the Inquirer. What did you think of the way Jamie, he only had 7 points, but the way he kind of opened things up for the rest of the team in the half court, and then also kind of Ben's ability to create
All right, so there's Brett Brown talking at the presser. Obviously, it's a better feel. Talking about not only Embiid and Simmons individually, but collectively as a team. You've got to obviously face those adversities, right, to learn and grow. How much do you think Philadelphia, and I know it's only a couple of games, learned from even what happened in game one, and how much does it force a team to come together? Because we all wonder about that chemistry, Fish, between game one and game two where we don't see them, when they're talking at practice and they're going over film.
Yeah, I think you find out about yourself in those adverse situations, individually and as a team. And I thought this did bring the group together a little bit. Brett Brown talked about the chess match that happened in terms of as great and impactful as T.J. McConnell is to his group. A little subtle adjustment by putting the ball in Jimmy Butler's hands more, initiating the offense. So although he didn't end up with more shot attempts, didn't shoot the ball well in particular, but 7 assists. So that's an example for everybody else that one of our best players is willing to take a little bit of a different role in a back seat to allow everybody else to eat and win. And that is something that you can build on, hopefully, going into game 3.
Yeah, when he leaked over into that second unit, it allowed them to create open shots for Mike Scott, who's not necessarily creating by himself, but it really, Ben Simmons set the tone, because not only the aggression, but to your point, the facilitating. Because the weird part about Ben was the first 3 quarters of game one, he had 2 assists. And regardless of him not scoring and not having a good enough shot, not going to the line, we know he could do that. But that, to me, was a symptom of what was wrong. And then we saw from minute one, he was out looking to impact the game tonight, Jet.
Yes, the intent was there, right? The sense of urgency. And that's when Fish talked about being in the film session, being in practice, looking each other in the eye and knowing that the series doesn't start till we get a win. This is the second game at home. The fans have been booing us. We have to get a win here, and at all costs. I look at, for the first 2 quarters, it was intense. It was going to be tough. It was going to be a grinded out type game. But in the third quarter, they went into halftime. They came back out and they said, listen, this is when we're going to make our stand and we're going to put these guys away. And Brooklyn didn't quite respond with the same level of intensity. And they got blown out in that third quarter. 51 points they gave up in the third quarter.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. You pack that many people in Brooklyn into one place, I bet you it's going to be bumping on game 3.
Oh, yeah.
They'll get plenty of energy in that building. I bet for game 3, it's going to be a lot of fun. Speaking of which, Joel Embiid had more fun tonight in his 22 minutes, put up some good numbers, gets a W, and here he is after the W.
Joel, you had a couple of opportunities there where you could have shot that 3-pointer, pulled it down, went in, you got the Euro step for the foul. I think there was another one where you played JJ with the dribble handoff. I mean, was that something you were looking to just take it down low, not be out there on the perimeter?
I was just taking what the defense was giving me. If you're gonna give me not much of space, I feel like I can do a lot of things with it. And tonight, I just decided to be aggressive and drop the ball. Some nights I'm gonna shoot it, but tonight I was just trying to be aggressive.
Joel, I got 2 questions. First, quickly, how's your ankle?
It's fun.
Okay. And the way you started off the third quarter, scoring the first 8 points for you guys, how intentional was that? Was that what was presenting itself in the game, or was it the coaching staff and players looking for you? How'd that come about?
Tonight, I think we made a big point of finding me in the post, and feel like my teammates did a great job of finding me, and we played out of that, and we moved the ball, we shared the ball, and then we were just aggressive.
Ben was really aggressive tonight. How did you feel like that impacted your game overall?
He's the point guard. When you see your teammate play with that type of energy, he picks you up, he lifts you up, and it makes you want to play the same way. And I thought tonight it was fantastic, and that's the energy we need for the rest of this series and the playoffs.
Getting back to the Ben's question about aggression, was that something you were looking to try and do? The mindset going in today, Ben, for you to just get out there, trying to set the pace early for the team and get everybody going?
Yeah, just trying to be me. Be aggressive, find my guys, and just play the game the right way.
Ben, did you feel an extra responsibility to get Tobias off, to get JJ off because they didn't have a good game one? Is that just playing to the aggressiveness that you had?
Just trying to do my job, trying to find guys when they're open, mismatches, see who's open, if it's Joe, if it's Tobias, Jimmy, whoever it is, JJ, just trying to make the right play.
It's for Joe and Ben. You guys are the all-stars foundation for this team. Did you all feel responsibility to really just bring it for your teammates so they can follow you tonight? Was that sort of the mindset you came in that they had to follow you last night?
It's all about it's all about everybody. Everybody's got to bring it. Some nights it doesn't matter what I do, it doesn't matter what he does. But if the three other guys on the bench don't bring it, it might not be enough. So we need everybody. We need everybody to be aggressive, follow the game plan, and play together, share the ball, and just dominate.
Joe, was it a point to be more physical tonight? Both ends of the court, and were you surprised that you got a technical on the elbow swing through at the end of the second quarter?
I wasn't surprised. I saw the replay, and obviously it wasn't intentional, and I got him pretty good, and I'm sorry about it, but okay. I'm sorry about it. It wasn't intentional, but it's just me trying to be aggressive. I'm not usually humble, that's why he's laughing. But I was just trying to be aggressive.
Joe, how does your knee feel now, and how close were you to not playing tonight?
I was out there playing for my teammates. I feel like we as a group, sometimes they need me, and I just feel like, just playing through the pain and playing for them and just be trying to give whatever I can. And obviously, missing so many games is hard to find a rhythm, and also being on minute restrictions is hard to find a rhythm. So whenever I'm out there, I just kind of forget about the pain and just play through it and, just trying to do the right things.
Joel, what did you like about, what did you like about Bovan's play tonight when he was stepping in for you?
It was great. Obviously, the defense gave him the same look all night, and he kept knocking down those shots. He was great. That's good to see that, when I come out, other guys come in and they're able to step up.
Joel, a game like this one, everybody involved, the record number of points, kind of game you guys had tonight. How much of a swing does that give you? How much of a boost does it give this team for Game 3 on Thursday night in Brooklyn?
It's great. That was a great game. We beat them by 20 points. So we just got to go back and watch what worked out. And I feel like if we play the same way we did, then that's sharing the ball, that's just being aggressive, penetrating, find shooters, Ben doing his job, me being dominant, and then defensive is just not allowing them to shoot or make so many threes. I think that's the formula, and we just got to do it 3 more times, and we're going to be good.
We'll take 2 more.
Ben, there was a moment there in the second half where you got a steal and a layup and then hit the hand to your ear like Allen Iverson egging on the crowd. Tell us what you were feeling at that moment and what made you do that.
I was thinking about the boos from last game. But, I got a lot of love for this city, the fans here, and, every time I step on the floor, I try and, play as hard as I can. And I was just showing that, the hustle I try and give each and every game is, not only for my teammates, my family, it's for the city.
Hey Ben, Jason Blevins, Philly front office. So you talked yesterday after practice about a few things. Do you feel like you delivered on the aggressiveness, the defensive attention on D'Angelo Russell, and then the engagement with the fans, like you just talked about? You feel like you delivered on everything you sort of talked about yesterday?
I think I had too many turnovers. I was aggressive. Just tried to play the game the right way. I think I delivered, but at the same time, we still got a few more games. It's only one game.
Thanks, guys.
Embiid and Simmons, question in game 1, answers in game 2. We've got a series.
You're a big deal to us, so we've got big deals for you. At Men's Warehouse, it's the big deal event. Now until Easter, shop our lowest price of the season on designer sport coats at $149.